like an issue that I just find so, like, first off, it's really has nothing to do with me, because when I started out to have a hair channel, it was just to share my hair journey. That's it. And I will share some of my own like DIY things, but when I say this is DIY, I preface that this works for my hair. I've never claimed that what I do would work for other people's hair, because I just find, honestly, if you're gonna be super honest, that what you do for your own hair most likely works for you and not everybody else. I think the one overarching thing for me that does work, that I kind of would encourage people to do, would be gentle hair care. But I don't know, our society isn't really keen on gentle hair care, because I think people are always like, oh, but hair is like to play with and it's just hair, and people love to dye their hair blonde. But even if you watch like professional hair accounts like the Blowout Professor, he will admit dyeing your hair blonde is one of the most like damaging things you can do. And like, of course, hairstylists are gonna love it when you want to dye your hair and do more treatments like in a salon, because they make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you love like a polished salon look, you should definitely go see a hairstylist. So I guess I just have to. I was gonna stop talking about the dark side of the hair cutting fetish. I really was, but it's just because I keep seeing it. Because once somebody sends something to you that talks about hair cutting, is like Instagram thinks that I'm interested in that, and I'm definitely not. So already I've had experiences with people saying, well, it's just art, like, oh, like we talk about a haircut and a hair shape, and it's just a form of art, it's just a form of self-expression, which is fine. But I draw the line, because I do believe if you're a man promoting like a hair salon setting and cutting hair, that it is a form of violence against women. Because here's examples. Here's big time examples, like when men track women down to cut off their hair to sell it. That's a way of targeting women, violence against women. And like when male family members or even female family members force women in certain countries to donate their hair for money, when they don't want to and they force them, that's violence against women. Maybe some women willingly want to donate their hair, or some people just want to cut their hair. That's cool, whatever. But there is this element of violence against women, and when people say, oh, it's just art, it's art, it's fine, I disagree, because here's the thing, like, what if somebody made, like, okay, I get that there's some violence in movies and video games, but what if somebody just made like a comic strip about how they were, I don't know, they had a fetish for something really bad, like unaliving people? I think most people would be horrified by that. Most people would be horrified. And if somebody said, oh, it's just art, I know there would be backlash. There would definitely be backlash, and people would be upset about that. But when somebody says, well, and they've been presenting to me for weeks and weeks, oh, I love this long hair art thing I'm doing, and then I see you send it to me, and it's a strip and a story about how some lady cut her hair and another lady shaped her hair, and you're a man, I have a big problem with it. A big, giant problem with it. First off, I really admire the men that are growing their hair long and they're running their own accounts and they're posting their own content, and I've always been honest about that. And I also was never a super fan of men who have a lot of like just other women's hair is free content for them. I don't really like that. And this has been solidified in that I'm beginning to see, and this is so true, is I think as time goes by, a lot of these men that are into hair cutting fetish, they're not able to really find a lot of women, because a lot of them, they don't have money, they don't have buku bucks, like they don't have big salaries that they're going to pay some woman to cut her hair. So either they're creating art, or it gets worse. Like today, I saw one that was creating AI and saying that women in India, when they get married, are getting their hair forcibly cut, and it's humiliation and ha ha ha, violence against women. I'm sorry, AI or art that like promotes this stuff, I'm going to talk about the dark side of this. It's men who think that they can perpetuate their own fetish on women. And it's non-consensual because you might say, oh, well, it's just art, it's just art. But I find it very problematic because why is that the message that you want to put out there? Like, why is this? And I don't want to negotiate with anybody anymore. I don't want people to message me anymore about how they want to do my hair. Because I don't want anybody to do my hair. I want to do my own hair. And I think the only person I'll ever trust to maybe trim my hair is my sister. Nobody else. I don't want to meet anybody who's ever talked about a hair cutting fetish. I want it to stop. And today is the day. Like, I was never going to talk about it, but I just want it to end because I've had several people in very different, various ways talk about, like, they sneak in or, like, and I'm done. And I blame myself only for having sort of humored interactions with people for as long as I did. I'm done. I'm not going to explain why. I'm just going to be done responding to the people who put that out in the universe. If this is what you put in the universe, then you find people that like that, but I don't like that. And I just don't want men to send me pictures of other women's hair either because I'm not interested. Stop sending that crap to me. And that's another thing. Like, these hair fetish guys, they like send me pictures of other women's hair. I don't know. Like, I'm not interested. Like, I don't have a hair fetish. I just love long hair and I have a long hair journey. And this is why I very seldom message. But when I do look at the messenger, this is the only kind of stuff you see. And none of it's good. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. But I do think it's very problematic. And I do think, does anybody, like, there's something really wrong with these individuals. Like, some of them play it off like, oh, I didn't hurt anybody. But some of them are really hurting me. And you know what? We're not interested anymore. Like, we don't want, I'm not going to even explain myself. I already told people who engage in such behavior, I just don't want it anymore. Not interested. Go seek it out from other people. Like, if that's your only interest in hair is to talk about the beauty of hair and then to have whoopsie art, like, talk or scissor play and all this, take a hike. Or go see a therapist because I'm really going to suggest to these men that they seek out some sort of therapy because, like, I've always thought, the guys that just like long hair brushing, they're harmless, but some of them, it gets kind of weird. I think that's creepy in one way, but the other one is violence against women because there's actually been people that might see these forms of art and be inspired to do something because you put it out there. And that's your legacy, and I don't even want to correct you. I just think I don't want anything to do with it. It's just a dark thing. Like, it's a very dark thing that I personally don't condone, and I personally don't find interesting at all. And I feel like, yeah, it's ruining the experience, and you just have to, like, literally, if you see one of these accounts that mentions hair cutting fetish, block it. Or just delete it or disengage with it because none of it's good and I'm not interested. Like, and then the men who collect other women's hair pictures, and they're like, I'm a collector. I collect lots of women's hair. And there are guys that are growing their hair long and putting you to shame. What, are you too lazy to grow your hair long? If you were really interested in hair, why don't you braid your hair, grow it long? And because, or if you're not, just be a silent one and stop posting this garbage. It's garbage, and I'm done. And if you wonder why, they can't find any models or anybody who's interested in this crap, it's because it's crap. It's crap, straight up. Especially that Indian AI guy who created like some montage of women like being humiliated by having their hair cut in front of their like new relatives. Oh, really? You already talk about like cruel relatives and like in-laws, and you throw that in the mix, and then somebody was saying he wanted his mother humiliated, and I'm like, you know what? I could have reported that whole, because I think that is violence against women. It's not like I want to censor things. I don't want to censor you. I just think nobody wants to engage with you because, like I said, if somebody made like an AI art montage of somebody unaliving people and calling it art and saying the same things, you insert another word in there. And I do find some of this like hair cutting, like forced hair cutting stuff, a gateway thing. It is gateway, by the way. It is gateway because if you have watched anything about the true crime shows or the crime people, they start small and then they get a high off of it. And I don't know, maybe some of these people that put that stuff out there, they get a high off of thinking somebody might be inspired to do something based on their art, but they're absolved because they're sitting way off in this like faraway place saying, oh, it's just art. Like I didn't hurt anybody. You know, it's supposed to be like a pretty tame PG or less experience on Instagram. Do you think that would be good? Like, because some of the keywords that they use are long hair. If people under 13 were seeing this crap about, oh, hair cutting fetish, like, oh, I should shave my head, no, because I'm sick of this stuff, and I'm not going to apologize for the men who put this stuff out here. They put it out there, and I'm done with it. I don't want anything to do with it. So that's my last PSA I'm going to have about it. It's very twisted. It's twisted stuff. Like, it's very mentally unstable stuff. Like, oh, I'm going to cut people's hair. And who gets a kick out of that? And they're so desperate that they're creating art and AI to create their fantasy. So I have a big problem when people say it's just art, because that is a cop-out. When you tell me it's just art, or it's just AI, or it's just fiction, and it's fictionalized, it's not a real thing, like, you're basically, like, if somebody were inspired by your fictional, artistic AI creation to do the things that you, like, illustrate in your story, I guess your cop-out can be, well, it's just art. It's not real. It's not my fault if somebody did that. And yeah, I do believe like some people need to take accountability for what they do, and if somebody does something bad, but you're putting that out there in the universe. Is that so I was saying last night, in 2024, this is going to be a better year, but it's going to be a better year because I've been very tame in my takedowns of the cutting fetish, but I'm not going to be tame anymore. I'm coming for them. The people with the hair cutting fetish have a problem. And we don't like you guys. We are sick of you guys because you're clogging up the Instagram feed. And I even talked to another guy that was from India, and he said, no, like, people donate hair, but that's not a thing. And this guy with this pretend account, which I blocked because I don't ever want to see it again, he had other stuff, like other artwork about forced haircuts and schoolgirls. This is like pedo stuff. This is pedo. Because, like, they were using keywords, schoolgirl, twin braid, cut. Like, they want women to have their hair forcibly cut. And I think they have egregious, like, joy when it's, like, a younger person in the illustration. It's, like, it's gross. And, like, where are you guys getting these ideas? Like, why? Why is that the thing? Your legacy is going to be, I was into hair cutting fetish? I don't know. I don't have time for it. But no, in India, they do not, like, have forcible marriage haircut. It's AI for a reason, because nobody would, in their right mind, and the AI was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Because, like, it was, like, such a chop job. Like, you could tell, like, the pictures didn't go together. It was different. It was like, this is really bad AI. Not only was it AI, it was bad AI. Just like, and if that was actually AI that stole somebody's artwork, how lame. Like, you guys are lame. I don't know. But it's pretty dark. It's pretty, I think it's a gateway thing because, and there are kinds of fiction out there that are not good either. Like, and I know some people are going to say, but this is just fiction. But put another word, another act, and people saying they'd like to see somebody humiliated and hurt and their mother like, God help you. You should ask God for forgiveness, and then you should go see a therapist, because God help you. Nobody wants to interact with people like that. It's sad. It's really sad, but I don't. Yeah, and they can't even get any real women to post for their little pictures, so, because it's not like they're rich. These dudes aren't rich. They just want people to give them free content, like, because, I don't know, what do? They get it, their kicksies off sync. I'm not interested anymore. I'm done. I don't even want to pretend to be friendly with people that put this stuff out in the universe. I don't even want to pretend to be friendly with people who put this stuff out in the universe, because they pretend like, oh, I didn't remember that I posted that. No, you cannot pretend, oh, that was fiction. I don't know what you're talking about. You sent it to me. And then after you sent it to me, Instagram thought I liked it. So they recognized more stuff. But whatever, Instagram, like, you think, like, Instagram. Like, you will censor things that are much more tame, like during the election. Like, somebody just said who they voted for in 2020, and those posts were blocked. But, like, they're, like, supposedly you have software that detects, like, things like this. And I'm not saying that I think things should be censored, but if it's a PG environment, I don't think that should be on the Instagram feed. Nobody needs to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Go post it on your dark side of the internet, where all you guys go gather and gawk at whatever it is you gawk at. As you can see, I don't have much respect for guys with a hair cutting fetish. I have 0. Because it's dark and it's lame, and even now, like, I've had people, like, they keep bringing up the cutting things. I think they're getting all excited about that. Like, oh, cut. Are you going your, like, yeah, I'm growing my hair long, but the ones that keep talking about cutting, knock it off. Get a life. Grow up. It's weird. You guys are weird. Like, oh, that's where you derive excitement. And then one guy used to tell me I had to pretend to play with, and I'm like, no. Alright, so that's the last I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to try and just, anytime I see posts I don't like, I'm going to just tell Instagram I do not like this post. There's a button where you can say I don't like this post. And that's what I'm going to do. Because maybe, and then if I know, like, I'm just not going to open messages from certain people anymore. Because, I mean, I've already seen what they post and what they like, and it's not something I like, so I'm done. Peace out. I'm done. 2024 is about being done with all this. I'm just like, really, guys? I'm sorry that you didn't understand or comprehend or get that nobody likes this stuff except for your tiny group of people that get all into it. Although I've been seeing some pretty nasty comments on the internet. I don't know. When did it become... I'm beginning to see a trend. I don't like it when women pick on other women. But lately, it seems like the whole violence against women thing, like commentary online, is kind of having an uptick. Like, I don't know if it's because of incels. Guys, you don't want to be an incel. Red pill is unhealthy. Red pill is bad. I'm not saying extreme feminism is good, but if you do red pill... If you like any of those guys that promote the red pill thing, you have problems. Stop watching that. Stop engaging with that. Get good with God. Get red pill out of your life, because I'm telling you, God does not like red pill. I can tell you that right now. It's not good stuff. It's negative. A lot of it is promoting violence against women, like in actions and thoughts. And I just feel like you should adore women. You should treat women well. Not want to be a red pill dude. And if you have some sort of frustration in your life, stop blaming society for certain things and start, like, working on yourself. Because it's not society's fault that you went on some bad dates. It's not society's fault that women don't want to pose for a hair cutting fetish video. and that you have to create AI images or draw the image. It's not society's fault, because most people with common decency and common sense know that these things aren't good. And I'm not trying to shame people that have maybe like innocuous fetishes. Oh, you like to look at high heels, or oh, you like to brush hair. That's one thing, okay? But it's quite another thing when, and another reason that they get off on this is because it's more of a PG like fetish, because they can post this to Instagram and it kind of goes through the barrier. Although, say who you voted for in 2020, and though a lot of those posts were blocked, but for some reason Instagram promotes this. See, this is why sometimes I don't think automated moderation is always good, because sometimes it thinks things that are innocuous or bad, and then other times like something. And I'm not saying we should have to censor everything, but I think if Instagram's geared towards a PG audience and somebody wants to post stuff like that, it shouldn't be on Instagram. My opinion. I don't think it'd be on TikTok right now, because, as much as people have been ranting and raving about TikTok, TikTok's actually upped, like, since those hearings, when they said they were going to take TikTok away, they've upped, like, they have upped their censorship, like, what's allowed, like, there's a lot of things that are not allowed, like, it has, like, certain words and topics not allowed. You couldn't post that. I don't think you could get away with that on TikTok, in the US TikTok anyway. Or probably any TikTok. But Instagram, I don't know. Obviously, people get away with it if it's being posted. And I find it funny that there's other things like, oh my gosh, like tasteful, like sort of risque-ish art that weren't even bad. Those accounts are completely deleted, but then we have violence against women accounts that are promoted. It's so uneven. I'm like, okay. So, what is the answer for me in 2024? I just want to talk about how it's very dark, it's very unhealthy to be into a haircutting fetish. People that, like, love these things, they need to ask themselves why. Why are they bringing this into their life? Why is that what they're going to be their legacy? Oh, my legacy was I created art and wrote a story about haircutting fetish. Because most of it is not, like, and some of it gets worse, and I don't want to go into how worse it gets, because, and then this is another thing too, they kind of force you, like, they act like you're supposed to be okay seeing whatever it is they post, and then they're like, oh, it's fine, like, no, it's not fine. So, in the future, going forward, I just don't want to respond to accounts that engage in this behavior of any kind, just saying. Just saying, no more of it. It's done. It's a done deal. These accounts thrive off this kind of energy, and I don't like their energy. But I haven't for a long time. I haven't liked things that these accounts have posted. So anyway, I just am seeing more of it, and more of the incel energy thing. I'm like, I don't know when people decided that being an incel or a red pill or following these things was such a great thing. It's sad. It's so sad. Stop defining yourself by red pill. Stop defining yourself by feminist, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative. Break free of those things. Like, get happier. Start to value humans as humans. Stop creating, like, barriers between people. Start treating people with respect and common decency, I think so. And some people might be like, but Julia, it's not that deep. Actually, it kind of is, because it tells us a lot about society and culture when people are willing to say certain things are just art. When it like portrays an act of somebody having to forfeit something for your gratification, your gratuitous gratification. Like, oh, your hair is pretty, but it should be cut off, and you should shave your head because that would turn me on. Shame on you.
Shame on you. And I don't even want to tell people that engage in this anymore because they know. Anybody that creates that content knows. And then the ones that take it to the next level where they're doing AI, like humiliation haircut, you know what you're doing. And you think it's fine and you think it's cute. And you have stuff on your page talking about forced, like a mom taking a girl to get a forced haircut for a schoolgirl. All keywords that pedo culture. It's sick. That is so sick. And there's something wrong with you. Something very wrong with you. But it's okay. I just blocked that account because whatever, Instagram. I don't know why you recommended that to me, Instagram. Because somebody sent me something bad or something I didn't think is in good taste. But you know, once again, the people who say it's just art, it's art, it's art, freedom of expression. I do believe in freedom of expression, but there's a big difference. Like, let's say some people are like, oh, this video game is violent, but it's like, or they're portraying war or conflict. They're not gratuitously just like inflicting violence on somebody. I'm not saying, I don't even really like games that have violence in them at all, but there's a big difference between those and ones that like portray like intimate situations as opposed to AI to illustrate somebody getting a forced haircut and the in-laws laughing, or somebody in the comments saying, I want to force my mom to have a humiliation haircut and to be in the salon setting. And then it makes me kind of think too, like maybe this is another reason I've never really liked salons, and I'm not saying all salons are like this, but I kind of wonder now, like, you know, when people say, I just want like a couple inches trimmed off, and then they end up cutting off like a foot or 2 feet of hair. And I'm beginning to think, is that because sometimes women perpetuate violence against women and like not listening to them? Because anytime that you don't listen to somebody and you do something and you say, oh, well, it looks healthier this way, like, that's a cop-out. And then maybe that's just why I'm not really big. Like, I do think salons can do, like, I do think there's some really good hairstylists, but I think some of this is also carryover in hair salon culture, where a lot of hairstylists do things that make the female in the chair, because it's usually not a man that's going to be getting these horrible haircuts. Like men, if they have super long hair, they're not going to a hairstylist, but their hairstylist would be much more likely to listen to what the man asks for than like a woman who might not, you know. There's just a lot of things where people are like, oh, but there's nothing against women. Women don't have any kind of violence against them. Everything's all equal now. But I see a slippery slope where I'm seeing, and it's not even me being a feminist, because I don't define myself by feminist, but I think there's a lot of kind of misogyny that's kind of having an uptick, and I'm seeing it in Western culture too. So if you, and it's not about being a feminist, because I think actual people that are spiritual don't do this crap. I don't see spiritual people posting crap like this. It's weirdos that, anyway, I'm done. You know, I'm done, and I don't have to, I will never explain myself again to someone who can't figure out how to behave themselves. I'm just done. Done. So going forward, that was my PSA about those accounts, but I think maybe just some people see them, maybe a lot of people don't see them. Maybe a lot of people just don't see that stuff, and somehow I was one of the lucky duckies that got to see it, but I don't know. I talked to some guy from India who said he's been seeing a lot of this crap in his feed, and he's like, he has to tell the feed that he doesn't like that, and that's an Instagram thing. I'm not seeing it on YouTube, and I'm not seeing it on TikTok, but it seems like it's happening a little bit more and more on Instagram, and I'm like, Graham, what's going on with you? Like, I don't know. There's something weird going on with you right now. And one thing I have been seeing on YouTube is just very misogynistic red pill comments towards women, like talking about violence towards women. Like, I don't even want to say what some of these like comments said. It's just weird stuff that I feel like 10, 15, 20 years ago, people wouldn't be sane, but it just seems like it's on the uptick again. And I don't know why. I don't know when society decided that, oh, these are great views to have towards women. I'm gonna have that stuff. I don't know when, but I'll just leave it at that. There's a problem with some people on social media. And if they were focusing on their own plate, lane in life, they wouldn't be posting stuff like that, would they? No, they would not. But do you think red pill people, or even like hardcore feminist people, focus on their own plate, lane in life? Nah. They don't know how, because they can't find happiness within, you know? I'm just saying. But like people who find happiness within themselves, they're not posting that crap. Like they're not posting things like, oh, I'm a red pill dude who loves to do X, Y, and Z. They just don't. They don't post crap like that. They're too much busy. They're busier living their lives in a peaceful and productive way. They're not posting crap. No, it's still going to be the part I wanted. Okay. Anyhow, that was my fun kind of hair update thing. Like, just talking about this stuff. Like, really? Why? Why is this happening again? I don't know. Who knows? 2023 brought some things to an end, and then 2024, I think we have to do some education about some bad stuff that we've been seeing on the internet. I'll have to look at that comment later because my phone won't say why. But there's something that's being moderated. For some reason, I don't know what the comment is, but there's some sort of comment that's not being allowed through. But my phone, which I'm live streaming on, won't show me exactly why. So later I'll go and see if it's an appropriate comment or not. But all I know is a comment was just left by somebody and YouTube thinks it's inappropriate. So I can't. I'll see if I can see again what it was. Anyway, I'm not really sure what the comment was about. But yeah, we'll have to see later what it said. And I don't know why it wasn't shown. But there's some sort of comments that people are leaving, and it said a moderator handled it, but I don't know. Like, what kind of comments are you guys leaving? Like, don't leave weird comments, you know. Not interested. I'll have to look later if it shows me. I have to see. Did it do what I wanted? Let's see. I don't know. YouTube decided. So if you guys don't leave good comments, YouTube has like some moderation stuff. So I don't know what's going on. But I feel like maybe you guys need to think about what you're writing because I didn't even click anything. But I have told YouTube I want stricter moderation on comments. So maybe there's certain keywords you guys are using that are not allowed. So I don't know what you wrote, but apparently YouTube didn't like it, so I don't know. So whatever was written, YouTube didn't like. And I have put strict moderation on just because of people in the past who couldn't behave themselves, so who knows? If people can't behave themselves, YouTube's going to censor it. I'm not like big on censorship, but I had to put in some of those moderation things just because in the past the things that got posted. So it must have been something that probably wasn't allowed that you said, oh, turn off the light. I mean, I don't know, according to YouTube. Hi Renat, how you doing? Merci beaucoup. Okay, now I looked at Maya's comment. I don't know, it seems to be bad. I don't think it's a problem. I think because she said she cut her finger on ravioli, so I don't know why certain things got hidden, but whatever. Renard, merci beaucoup. Le cheveu is muy long. Spanish name. The cheveux is long. I really need to brush. I need to spruce up on my French, Renard. That's what I need to do. I'm just gonna put one side of my hair aside while the other sorted. I took 2 years of French in high school. Je m'appelle Julia. J'habite à la California. My French was very good at one time, but I would really need to study it. I'm very good with like pronunciation of French, though. I could do French pronunciation. But I need to learn better. I need to learn more. Study once again. But I always like to see you on these chats or not. It warms my heart because you're always very kindly. I appreciate your comments. Because I had my fiery say at the beginning about, content I don't like going forward. This is the content I want. More of this, less of that. You know what I'm saying? Giovanni, Giovanni. See, there's certain things that stick in my head. Like, I remember a few little songs, little words, but I would definitely need to study the studier en français. I would need to study better to get back to having more of a conversational level of it. Thanks, Renard. I do have pretty thick hair, Renard. I'm glad you appreciate it. Oh. Renard, I like it. It ain't more like this. That's what I want. I've seen some of your videos, Renard. They're so good. Like your music. Amazing. going to be a very learning-driven year. Well, every year is learning-driven to me, but we're going to talk about hair history and books and art. We're going to elevate. Well, I've always elevated my conversations, but it's going to get super elevated up in here. So get ready to learn something as you style your hair. That's the kind of hair channel I want. Elevated conversation, please. People learn something. Not just, I don't know. So now that we had our little outing of why I think there's a dark side to the haircutting fetish, now we get to elevate and talk about like books, hair, and history. Are you excited? And get excited. Because that's what 2024 has in store. Is going to be like, who is the historical person with long hair that I love? How about that? Elevated hair talk. I'm just doing double braid, Renaud. You know what? I love it when you're in the chat. I love it when I get like more educated, mature in the chat. Like, merci beaucoup. Like, I like that. Like, a lot. More of that. We need more of that. Give me some of that. Like, yes. That's what I like. The elevated. I just love it. I love it, Renaud. Thank you for showing up. It makes my hair chat better. Anyway. So that's the last one I'm going to talk about. That negative topic. It's so done. Anytime I see it, I'll just delete it up. Lock it up. Done with it. I don't want any part of it. So going into 2024, these are my goals. I want to do some hair interviews with people that have actual long hair accounts. Like, not a lot, but a few people. It's been mostly men. It could be women in the near future if I meet like a woman that wants to do a hair interview. But people that are growing their hair long. Those are the only collaborations I'm doing going forward. Is I will do nice long hair interviews with people that have long hair only. Hairstyling front, the only person that will ever style my hair is me. And the only person I ever trust to trim my hair is my sister occasionally. But I think now I'm just back to doing my own hair, my own haircuts, my own everything, like all DIY. Nobody else gets to touch my hair but me because I don't trust anybody. And that's how I like it. That's how I like my hair journey. Just me doing it all. I don't trust any man to like style my hair. I just don't. I never have, and I just never said it before. I was never going to. But I kind of had to get more vocal about it recently because I've had like people say in the past that they would love to brush my hair, and I'm like, no, you can watch me brush my hair. Like, even if I knew somebody as a friend, I'd be like, no, you can watch me do it all. Like, no, I'm not interested. Me brushing my hair, because I'm very gentle with my hair. I'm very picky. I don't like, a lot of people tug, and I don't want people to brush my hair. I know the tension that feels good on my hair. Anyway. See, the DIY people, they don't have to deal with this because they just block all you guys. I guess I could have been a DIYer, but the reason I wasn't a DIYer is because I don't really have like particular hair like tips I can give to everybody. I just know what works with my hair. No, I won't try Function of Beauty because I think it's overpriced. And I just do drugstore shampoo. Like, have you guys... Okay. I'm about to spill some tea on long hair community. So here's the truth. Oh, like, people have talked about this for a while. They're like, you know all those Russian women, like a lot of Slavic women, Indian women even, but if we're going to talk about the Western world, like Russian women, like, I don't know, Ukrainian, Slavic women, like, they don't buy all those fancy hairstyle brands. Like, a lot of them that have the floor-length hair, they use drugstore shampoo. You guys are wasting your money if you're buying all those salon brands. And sulfate. I love sulfate in shampoo. I'm a sulfate queen. Like, sulfate, give it to me. No. I use Selsun Blue. And what else? What else? I use... Well, I haven't used this one for a while. But I use Suave. And I haven't opened this. And this is the cheapy one. The $1.05 conditioner, VO5. And if I was real fancy... And I haven't used this one for a while because I kind of didn't really like this one. Because it's sulfate free, but it was Love Planet and Beauty, because I feel like I just need a sulfate shampoo personally, because I like to clarify, because I don't wash my hair as often as some people, so I definitely do a clarify. And I just love Selsun Blue Naturals. Very good, very highly rated shampoo. No, I would never purchase Function of Beauty because I just think it's overpriced for what it is, and if you can't buy it at a drugstore, like, or the supermarket, or at Sprouts, then why would I buy it? That's my rule. You don't need those expensive brands. It's all marketing 101, guys. No, so would I buy it? Definitely not. Because it costs money. A lot of money, and I'm not interested in. I don't see what those brands are doing for people's hair that drugstore, like, it's a scam wham, okay? You keep saying you need the more elevated shampoo. Scam, scam, scam. Like, I spot the scam. And recently some professional hairstylists have come out and said, personally, I don't think I really love Pantene. Like, some people really love Pantene. I personally, I wasn't a fan. I liked Suave for a while, but I think, no, I don't, I just love Selsun Blue. Because it's with the salicylic acid, which was recommended to me by Naturally Antonia when she said that she had a little bit of a scalp issue. Because I had a little bit of a scalp issue, which came from just doing co-wash, just doing conditioner wash, and then going back to shampoo, but only using sulfate-free ones. I was finding, I think it just wasn't clarifying my scalp enough. I don't use scalp scrubs. I don't use a scalp brush or those scrubbers. I just wash my hair with my fingers. Best method. I don't put oil directly on my scalp. I put leave-in conditioner, water, and Yves Rocher oil into my hair. Love this stuff. Like, I have my own methods and my own brands. Like, if I do run out of the Yves Rocher stuff, I'm gonna go budget queen, and I'm gonna buy olive oil or coconut oil and put that in my hair only. I'm a budget queen. Long hair beauty on a budget, because it's always been budget. It's just marketers, like, they're telling you that you need these expensive brands for your hair to be beautiful, and because they want to sell you something. I feel like there's a comment that disappeared. I don't know. Anyhow, I don't know where it went. But yeah, I love hair that's just simple and fun and happy and healthy without like some high price. I don't want salon hair because, like, lately, what are the salon styles that everybody loves? Like the curling wand, and I know people like loose hair when they're walking down the street, but I don't have that because I want my hair to be protected when I go places. I don't want it going all over the place, and that's another thing I feel like it cuts down on detangling. Oh, I feel like some part of my hair. It cuts down on detangling. It cuts down on just all these different things that hair maintenance wise you'd have to do if you have your hair loose all the time. Like, I just don't like loose hair in public. Like, I've worn it in public loose a few times, but I don't need to because my long hair is beautiful and it's for me. And of course I'll show it on YouTube or Instagram, but I don't need to show it in public. Surprise, surprise. Like, some people in daily life know I have long hair. Well, it's not as long as it once was. They know I have long hair, but they're not really apprised to exactly how long it is. And maybe I kind of like it that way because I feel like, well, it's kind of a mystery. Like, you don't need to know the exact length of my hair. Like, I think people that follow my YouTube, they're gonna know, but generally if somebody sees me, I feel like that didn't get smooth put up enough. Smoother hair on the back. I'm gonna look and audit. It's not smooth enough. Makes me feel like I want to redo both sides. Maybe I will. I don't know. I might have to. And get it as smooth as I like. Yeah, I might have to redo both sides to get it smoother to my liking. I'm probably going to rename this hair video after I'm finished, because sometimes I just play around with titles until I feel like I find one that I like. I don't think I'm 100% happy with the title for this video. I should take a gaudy gander peek. It just feels like it's too loose. I don't want it to be loose. I'm feeling picky with my hair right now. Yeah, that's way too loose because on this side it's nice and taut. I like the tension on this side. It's still kind of loosey-goosey. It's a little bit looser than I wanted. Okay, I have to redo it again. It's so funny, we're not. Yeah, I think I want to rename the video for sure afterwards, because I had my little rant about things, but I'm like, who cares? Let all those accounts do what they want. I don't know what they want. I know what I want. I don't really care what anybody else wants. They just know what I want. So I'm ready to just be happy and not think about weird content on the internet. And there's always going to be weird content on the internet. I can't control what people post, do, and say. Can I? Not particularly. So I'm just going to say, if you see something weird, just, I don't know, disengage, block it. Tell Instagram you don't want to see it. I'm going to remind myself a lot in the future, though, that I really, really, really don't want to engage with certain accounts, you know? Okay. So let me put on my glasses, I guess. I feel like... Ah! Anyway. Go. Nice braided hairstyle. That was fun, and thanks for watching.